Hello students. In previous video, we learned about reproduction, types of reproduction and also different modes of asexual reproduction. Now we know that asexual reproduction takes place in lower or simple body design organisms and it involves one parent. While sexual reproduction involves two parents, both the sexes, male and female. In this video, we will discuss about sexual mode of reproduction. In ninth, we learn about mitosis and meiosis type of cell division. Mitosis takes place in body cells or in somatic cells for the growth and meiosis takes place in reproductive cells. In cell division, a parent cell divides into two daughter cells. Chromosomes in the cell nucleus contains DNA, that is deoxyribonucleic acid. These DNA molecules are the source of inheritance of features. So this DNA will decide the characteristics of offsprings and they will carry the features, inheritance features from parent to the offspring. So DNA creation is the basic event in the process of reproduction. Two similar copies of DNA are produced in reproducing cell. So whenever cell is about to divide, it produces two similar copies of DNA or we can say chromosomes. Two copies of DNA molecule which are similar with each other come to two daughter cells and so the one set of chromosomes will come to the daughter cell. So from one parent cell, two daughter cells are formed having equal number of chromosomes. Two daughter cells produced by cell division are similar, however, they are not absolutely identical. See, the cells will be similar, but those will not be identical. Those will not be genetically exactly similar to the parent cell because some variations may arise during the copying of the DNA. During DNA copying, some changes may take place in the protein synthesis and some variations may observed in the daughter cell as compared to parent cell. So the daughter cells will be similar but not identical. So such variations in the DNA copies may be useful or drastic, which can make survival difficult. If the variation takes place and if that variation is useful, then it helps that cell, it helps that organism for the survival. It helps that organism to survive in the changing environmental condition. But if the DNA, during DNA makeup, during DNA copying, if the changes takes place, variation takes place and that variation is not feasible, in that condition that cell cannot survive or that organism cannot survive. So useful variations help for survival in changing conditions. This is how variation takes place in the cell. Due to variation, progenies produced are slightly different from their parents, but the process of producing variation is very slow. So this is very slow process. In unicellular organisms or a sexual reproduction, mitosis type of cell division takes place to form new individuals. In this, from one diploid cell, two daughter cells are formed. But in sexual reproduction, as two individuals combine to form one individual, so in the new individual there will be two sets of chromosomes present. That means double number of chromosomes will be present in the daughter cell. Hence, in multicellular organisms, there are specialized cells. These cells have half number of chromosomes or we can say half number of DNA. And these cells are known as germ cells or gametes. So in complex organism, in sexually reproducing organism, haploid cells are present. Haploid cell means having half number of chromosomes and those haploid cells are called as germ cells. These are formed by the process of meiosis. Male germ cell, that is male gamete, are known as sperm, and female germ cells are known as ovum or egg cell. When these germ cells from two individuals combine during sexual reproduction, it results in the formation of new individual or progeny with exact number of chromosomes as the parent cell is having. Hence, sexual reproduction is important for the process of variation and have more chances of survival, because here there is chances of variation, and if variation is beneficial, feasible, then it helps that cell for the survival. Here we can see the example that human beings are having two opposite sexes, male and female. In each cell they are having 46 chromosomes, that is 23 pair of chromosomes. During the formation of gamete, the meiosis type of cell division takes place. Each diploid cell will give rise to haploid cell. Here haploid means having half number of chromosomes. So due to meiosis, the sperm formation takes place, which is male gamete having 23 chromosomes, and here in females egg cell forms having 23 number of chromosomes. When the sperm and egg cell will fuse together, fertilization will take place and they will develop zygote having total number of chromosomes, that is 46. This type of fertilization is called as sexual fertilization. In this, first of all meiosis takes place and then mitosis takes place. Now let's see sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Reproductive organ of angiosperms are located in the flower. So flower bearing plants are showing sexual reproduction in the plants. Flower has four parts: sepals, petals, stamens and carpels. Carpels are also known as pistil. Stamen and carpels or pistil are the reproductive organs of the plant, which contains germ cell, that is gametes. Stamens are the male reproductive parts, while carpel are the female reproductive part. Stamens consist of filament and anther. So here this long structure, elongated structure is called as filament, and this yellow color part is called as anther. So the stamen, that is male reproductive part, consists of filament and anther. Anther produces pollen grains that are yellowish in color. Carpel or pistil is present in the center of flower and it is made up of three parts. Ovary. This bottom swollen part is called as ovary. Style. This middle elongated part is called as style. And stigma. This terminal sticky part is known as stigma. So this platform like structure is known as stigma, style and ovary. Ovary contains ovules and each ovule has an egg cell. Based on the reproductive parts, flowers are of two types: unisexual flower and bisexual flower. When flower contains either stamen or carpel, it is called unisexual flower. So the flower which is having either stamen or carpel is known as unisexual flower. Uni means one. So in this type of flower, only one type of reproductive organ is present. For example, papaya, watermelon, etc. When flower contains both stamens and pistil, it is called bisexual flower. So bi means two. So the flower which contains both the reproductive organs are called as bisexual flowers. For example, hibiscus, datura, mustard, etc. Sepals are the green in color and their function is to give protection to the flower in bud condition. So sepal give protection to the flower when it is in the bud form. Also, it is green in color means it contains chlorophyll, and so it helps in photosynthesis. Petals are attractive in color and help for the attraction of insects for the pollination. So petals attract insects for the pollination. Pollination is transfer of pollen grains from stamen to the stigma. For fertilization, male gamete from pollen should fuse with female gamete in the ovule, and for this pollen should be transferred to the stigma. This transfer of pollen from stamen to the stigma is known as pollination. So just now I told you what is pollination, that is transfer of pollen grain from stamen to the stigma. There are two types of pollination, self-pollination and cross-pollination. When pollens are transferred from stamen to stigma of the same flower, it is known as self-pollination. We can see this in bisexual flowers. Means if the pollen grain from the stamen is transferred to the stigma of same flower, then that is called as self-pollination. While when pollens are transferred from stamen of one flower to the stigma of another flower, then it is known as cross-pollination. So these are the two types of pollination. Pollination means transfer of pollen grains from stamen to the stigma. For such cross-pollination, pollens are transferred to the other flowers with the help of many agents. For transfer of pollen grains, many agents are helping. For this type of cross-pollination, wind, water, animals are helping for the transfer of pollens from stamen of one flower to the stigma of another flower. So, for fertilization, male gamete from pollen should meet female gamete in the ovule, and for this a tube grows out of the pollen grain and travels through the style and reach to the ovary. So once pollination takes place, means the transfer of pollen grain takes place from stamen to the stigma. Stigma is what? This platform like structure. So pollen grains will get deposit, it will get settle on the stigma, and it will develop a tube like structure. We can see in this diagram that it will develop tube like structure. That tube contains male germ cell. This tube contains male gametes, and the male gametes will transfer through this tube from stigma to the ovule. So when pollen lands on stigma, a tube will emerge out from the pollen grain. This tube is called as pollen tube. This tube carries male gamete and reach up to the ovule through style. In ovule, there are 7 cells, 3 on each corners and 1 in the center. This center cell is formed by the fusion of 2 cells. We can see that 2 cells are fused. This is called as polar nuclei. One out of these 3 cells is egg cell. So this one is the egg cell. These 2 cells are called as synergid. Then these 3 cells are called as antipodal cell. So male gamete which comes through pollen tube fuse with egg cell and fertilization takes place and it forms zygote. When zygote formation takes place in the ovule, then again repeated cell division takes place. We can see in the figure 8.8 and it forms embryo. This embryo is the future seed. It then develops hard or tough covering around it known as seed coat. This seed then germinates to form seedling, and from seedling it develops into a plant. So this is the sexual reproduction in flowers. The process by which a plant grows from a seed to seedling is known as seed germination. See figure 8.9. This seedling consists of 2 parts, radicle and plumule. Radicle is the first part of the seedling that comes out in germination. It is the future root of the plant. And plumule is the future shoot of the plant. It bears leaves. The first embryonic leaves are called as cotyledons, which are used for the storage of food. So, this is the seedling, which consists of cotyledon for the storage of food, radicle, that is future root, and plumule, that is future shoot. So students, hope you understood sexual reproduction in flowering plants. Thank you and have a nice day.